What's up, everybody, to another episode of the Seven Figures or Bust podcast, episode 62, the number one podcast in the world for growing your insurance business. Glenn, we are still in Nashville,
We're still here. We
Tennessee.
might never leave at this point.
We have moved to Nashville, Tennessee. This is 3 days straight. We have brought you a live podcast on the Seven Figures or Bust platform in Nashville, Tennessee. And we got a doozy of an episode today.
We do.
I do believe you had a story for me, though. I do enjoy your stories to start the show.
And topically, we're wanting to discuss seven-figure problems. So problems that seven-figure business owners have. Again, we're at the seven-figure playbook event right now. $1 million business owners are sharing some incredible insight here at the seven-figure playbook event. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk about, I think it was 2 days ago. I think it was our Sunday stream. Someone commented and said, Christian, how do I even know you even make seven figures?
Oh, yeah.
Which I thought was hilarious. I loved this.
Was my response too strong?
No, I think it's valid. Like and people will share their 1099s, right?
For the record, I was not trying to clap back, as the kids say. I was not trying to do that. They gonna clap back. They gonna clap back. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
No, I wasn't trying
Please
to do
stand and dance for everybody. Thank you.
It's a party bus last night, left over. No, it wasn't that. That was my intention by any means. But it was more so just like, what do you want me to do to prove that to you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, there's really, the IRS knows.
Yeah.
But I have to tell them.
Right.
You have to tell them.
Right.
Right? Like, otherwise we get put in a box with no windows and bars. And I don't know, I think it always comes across as a weird request. It's like either like, if you feel like someone's providing quality information, that's an indicator. But like you look at, their lifestyle, like I made kind of like a little bit of a snide comment, I'm like, have you seen my house? Like, I don't think I could afford that. Yeah. If otherwise, but like, anyway, continue.
Yeah,
I just wanted to share a little bit of insight on that.
I think it's funny when someone wants to try to poke holes. And then this was something I saw last.
It's a conspiracy.
It is a conspiracy. For all we know, everything in your life is leased. And none of it is even owned.
That would still be expensive.
Assets. It is.
That would, like, wouldn't it be more expensive to lease everything?
Possibly. Possibly.
Like, they always made that argument about Ty Lopez, too. Like, he leased everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's a tremendous amount of money it takes to
100%.
lease, like, 5 sports cars, giant mega mansion. It's not cheap. You have to be doing something.
Here's my issue with it. When someone for whatever reason, I feel like on the life insurance side, this becomes such a thing all the time. These huge producers, recruiters, they're constantly flexing on each other. Look at my 1099. Look how much I made last year. It's not even about how much gross revenue gets generated at the end of the year anyways. That's where I feel like this whole conversation gets lost anyways. Yeah. Because if especially like an upline that can show, let's say they have a big LOA agency and they show a 1099 where they generated $10 million. They probably kept almost none of that. And yet they walk around, look at my 1099, look at my 1099. There's some people that come to mind as soon as I say these things. But
we talked on the show about a month ago, give or take, about people posting screenshots of direct deposits.
Right.
It's
I think in line with that.
It ties very neatly, I think, together with that. And, some of those things can be very misleading. At some point, it's not to say that it's all smoke and mirrors. I wouldn't say that necessarily. But at the same time, is that the indicator that somebody would be wanting in that type of situation? And I would argue, like, that's not a great indicator.
No.
Because that might not be genuine either.
Right.
I've fallen victim in the past, years ago, to posting screenshots of this.
Right.
I've done it before.
Right.
Years ago.
Sure.
When we were much smaller than we are now, but still balling away.
Yep.
Gliding through the air like Jordan. Double pumping, double clutching. I felt like there's no
There's
good.
no way you could double clutch. I don't believe it for a second.
Double clutch.
Oh,
Right, ready? You jumping?
oh, left hand.
And Jordan. Oh. But no, I feel like I feel like the people that I know, let me put it this way, that are the most successful people that I have ever met in my life, they're not posting screenshots.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like someone that's worth 50 million, 100 million, 150 million.
Is Tony Robbins taking a screenshot of his bank account
to
prove himself?
He's posting a screenshot. Woke up this morning. Your little business can be a big business. No.
That was a pretty good impersonation.
We're working on it. People say all my impersonations sound the same. I would politely disagree. Politely.
Maybe some of them.
You know, they kind of do. They kind of all do.
Yeah, some of them sound similar. Let's kind of segue here into the main topic today. So getting into problems that a seven-figure business owner has that potentially when you're smaller you don't have, because the problems change over time, right? You start off, and really the initial problem in my mind is like just generating revenue, right? How do I get a client? How do I make a sale? Once you start having cash flow, right, especially in the Medicare industry, you have a book of business that comes with renewals that provides cash flow. Your problems change. The problems that we have today are completely different than the problems we had 10 years ago.
Totally. Absolutely.
Well, what's something that comes to mind right away where you're like, this is a problem that I deal with that I wasn't even thinking about 5 years ago? What's something that's top of mind for you on that?
Man, I feel like there's so many situations like that that come to mind. It's tough to pick just one.
Yeah.
But I feel like one of the main issues you deal with when you grow to be a seven-figure agency, multi-seven-figure agency, is managing people in a big way.
That's a big one.
And managing huge amounts of people.
Yeah.
Right? Like you talked yesterday in your presentation at the event, our combined company has 300 employees.
Right.
Right? Like, how do we manage all of them? Well, it's impossible to do it ourselves. We need to rely on others. We need to rely on layers of communication. There needs to be very defined operating procedures, roles, expectations, everything like that.
Absolutely.
And there needs to be strong leadership that we count on and depend on in various parts of the company, which we have.
100%.
But that's challenging. And that's very challenging to build out. And both of us have gone through a lot of pain and blood, sweat, and tears to really get to that point. Not to say that we're perfect at it, because we still have more we can do better.
For sure.
But like, that's the first one that comes to mind for me.
That's a good one. And you have to have layers to it. You have to have middle management, corporate America, you hear middle management, and that gets frowned upon a lot, but it's so important to scale. At when you grow, you really have to have someone that can manage and report back to you to free yourself up from doing all those things. So one that comes to mind for me is really investing the money into your business. When you don't have money to invest, that's not a problem you have, right? When you're a six-figure business owner, when you're just getting started, you're 1-2 years into the business, you're usually spending your time equity. You're investing your time. You're not thinking about, if I had $50,000 right now, how would I spend this? Would I spend it on marketing? Would I grow the staff? Would I potentially get a bigger office? Like, there's all these different things you can do when you have more cash flow to invest. So, I mean, that's something that I've personally dealt. I feel like that's a constant as a seven-figure business owner. That's a constant. And I don't know, calling that a problem seems silly, but it's a situation. It's competing priorities. That's the term we use all the time at ESI when we're having these meetings. It's like, what do we want to spend our money on? What do we want to spend our time on, right?
What did a certain gentleman that loves baby oil say?
God.
More money, mo problem. Canceled yet? Canceled?
Canceled.
Don't know yet. Don't even
Cut
know.
the stream, guys. Cut it.
No, I think it's very okay. Can we go on? Can we recover from that one?
Let's try to get back on track here.
No, I feel like it might sound to a lot like a good problem to have, and certainly it is.
Yeah.
I would rather have that problem than a myriad of other problems that deal with your business not being able to grow.
For sure.
But at the same time, it is still a issue that needs to be thought about, addressed, and it's something you have to be able to manage if you want to continue to push forward in your business. Otherwise, you're going to plateau.
100%. If you don't have, and so the advice I would give for someone too is be thinking about this before you get there. I feel like that's the strategy that's worked best is like, if I have this much money to spend on the business, this is where I want to put it, because waiting until you have the money and then you waste time that way, I guess, right?
Totally. Yeah.
Way less efficient. So, I mean, that's the thing. We have a list of opportunities that we're constantly at ESI. We're constantly shifting around. What's the priority? Because you can't do everything all at once, right?
Yeah. You refer to it very accurately as competing priorities.
Right.
And I think that could not better articulate what it really ends up being, because, when you get to a certain point in your business, you have unlimited opportunity.
Yeah.
You could literally take 15 to 25 different opportunities in your business. And it comes down to, let's say there's an opportunity that can do this for my business. There's another one that can do this for my business, but they take the same amount of time for me. I have to be able to identify and pick out which one is more beneficial to my business and spend my limited time and resources on, and have the self-control and the discipline to not be gluttonous and be like, I want it all. Of course you want it all. But like, if it's going to cost you, right? If you're going to be chasing two things, and what's the old saying, the man who chases.
What
is it?
Oh man.
Thank you, good sir. The man who chases two rabbits catches none. Yes.
Live in the audience.
Live in the audience. Yes. Yes. And so I feel like that's a real thing. Now, you can get to a point where you can handle chasing two things at once if you have the infrastructure and the staff where maybe you don't have to personally be chasing the other rabbit.
That's right.
But like, there are a lot of opportunities that come up that might only be capturable at that point in time from you as the owner. And so you have to have that self-control and also the awareness to be able to determine what is best for my business today.
Yes. There's a comment on the stream, baby oil, ? Guys, I want to take a second right now and
just rename the episode Baby Oil.
Yeah, more money, more problems. I want to take a second
missed opportunity.
While I've got you guys. Freebie Friday. It happens every Friday right here in the Seven Figure Medicare Agent Facebook group. We talked to someone last night at the event who talked about how they never win anything, but they were winning some free things in the group and how excited they were. So we want to make sure all you have to do is comment on one of the live streams we do in the group every week. We typically do 4 a week. It looks like we're going to potentially have 5 streams this week because the bonus episode on Sunday.
We both fly home tonight.
We do.
We are scheduled to do the show tomorrow morning.
We are. The show must go on.
The show must go on.
The show must go on.
Thursday, I'm leaving town again, but doing the show first before I leave town.
Yes.
Like, this is dedication.
It is.
In a real way.
We've already given away 200 Medicare supplement leads from Lead Heroes this month. I'm going to give another 100 away this Friday. So this will be 300 leads. This is over $5,000 in retail value of Medicare supplement leads from Lead Heroes that we will give away this month. And this is a great time, I think, to plug our sponsor, Lead Heroes.
Lead Hero leads, Medicare supplement leads in particular.
Yes.
50% off.
Absolutely.
Right? $20 a lead only.
Yes.
We are single-handedly saving Medicare supplement this month. We're saving it. We will have.
We're trying to avoid the funeral.
Look, we have 2 options: funeral with caskets full of enrollment guides, as you so accurately pointed out.
Yes.
Live on the show, by the way. So shout out to you.
I know. I love this.
Or we can save it, and we don't need to buy the coffin.
Yes.
Coffins are pricey.
Coffins are pricey. Yeah. We might need a final expense policy for Medicare supplement insurance. I know that's a sentence that's never been said before, but
guaranteed issue because it can't pass underwriting.
Guys, the $20 Medicare supplement leads at Lead Heroes, that promotion ends this Friday. So the end of the month, February 28th, it will go back to $40 per lead. So take advantage of that while you still can. Only a few days left of that promotion. Head over to leadheroes.com, or you can head over to sevenfigure.com. We have all of the Lead Hero links right there on sevenfigure.com. So that being said, getting back to our main topic here, we don't have a ton of time left before the seven-figure playbook event.
Probably 10 minutes or less we have to wrap up.
Yes. So that being said, do you have any other seven-figure problems that you feel like as a newer business owner, maybe you weren't thinking about this ever coming up? Or
this isn't exactly related, but I feel like it could maybe even fit into the category of problems you face when you're on the brink of seven figures.
Yeah.
That helps you push over that come to mind, like bookkeeping.
Oh, yeah. That's
accounting,
a big one.
Right? Like, I mean, has anyone in the live audience, the small live audience this morning, has anyone ever hired their own bookkeeper? Didn't go well. Okay.
Going back and cleaning up the books now.
Oh yeah. See, that's a pain in the butt, right?
Hassle, yeah.
Finding a bookkeeper that you can trust, that knows what they're doing. CPA, all of that stuff. So one thing we did upon merging is we found a bookkeeping service, and it didn't go great right off the bat.
It took some time.
It took some time to really kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's not cheap.
No.
Right? Are you comfortable sharing what we spend on the bookkeeping?
Combination of our CPA, our bookkeeping service, and then on top of it, we have our own employees' times that will contribute to, I like payroll as an example. We have 5 different companies, and to help manage the businesses, I'm trying, even though payroll goes out as one lump sum, I need to know what company to allocate portions of payroll to.
Sure.
So, I mean, the cost to just manage that, it's thousands of dollars a month that we are spending just to manage where the money's going. And that's something when you're not generating a lot of revenue, you're not worried about or even thinking about, right?
Yeah. But I feel like that's one of those things where it's like you reach a certain point in your business and you might not think about it, right? Like for years, I was doing all my own accounting. It was a mess, as you know.
Yes.
Coming in as a co-owner.
Yes.
Being like, what are these files? What are these records? I'm like,
it's that meme where the dog's sitting there and the whole room's on fire. It's like, this is fine. This is fine.
Remember that scene in Dodgeball?
Yeah.
When the lawyer's like, she's like, do you keep financials? And Vince Vaughn's like, yeah, I got a closet full of them. Opens up the closet and they just like fall out.
Yes.
He's like, the problem is I've never actually filed them. She's like, no kidding. But it is one of those things that I think is a game changer when you're able to kind of figure out a solution there where someone can handle that for you.
For sure.
And that is a job that becomes a full-time job more and more as you go, right? As you keep growing and you keep getting bigger.
Another one that kind of connects to this is like relationships. There's relationships that are so important to have the bigger your business gets, like an attorney.
Mike's in the house.
Mike.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
a live shout out.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
They saved my bag. I left it on the bus last night.
Oh, that's great. So relationships, so like an attorney, right? When you're early on in your business, you're not thinking about like your potential legal needs. But then you get further down the road and there's stuff that we encounter all the time, like creating contracts, things that are mission critical now, where if you had to take the time and go find an attorney, and here's the other thing is we've worked with a variety of attorneys over the years.
We have.
Some of them are terrible, right?
I remember situations that, and not even necessarily from attorneys we've worked with that, we like that weren't great. They were fantastic. But maybe they're busy.
Yeah.
And like we need something that's time sensitive.
Yeah.
There was a situation last quarter. If you're comfortable with me sharing,
That was the exact story I was thinking.
We had to bribe an attorney to get something done faster.
I don't know if bribe's the right.
It's a word.
we need to. There we go. Monetarily encourage.
Can Cody Askin step up here super fast? I don't know.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to talk to you.
Oh.
Keep going about this story though. This is a good story.
So we had a situation where we needed a document written up by an attorney, not our attorney.
Yeah.
Someone else's attorney. It was a time-sensitive thing. We needed to get the deal done. The attorney said that. You want to make a guest appearance? Sure. Can you do it in 5 minutes or less? We're almost done.
Finish the story.
Okay, so
this is a good story.
Okay, so. To not get this done by a certain date. I won't bore you with the details in terms of why.
Which it didn't get done by the certain date, despite what we
So the other guy's attorney was in court for a week, according to him.
Allegedly.
And, he reached a situation where he's like, I can't get this done until like a week from today. So we reach out to the other guy's attorney, someone we don't know, we don't have a relationship with. We're like, what did we pay? I don't remember.
$1,000?
Yeah, I think that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like, if we give you $1,000? Can we have this in 24 hours? And he's like, yeah. All of a sudden, he's not in court anymore.
His schedule clears up.
Opens up real fast, real quick.
And then it still got delayed.
And it still didn't get done by the dates. So.
And cost us 5 figures.
The moral of the story is that didn't help us at all.
Yeah.
But we tried. We tried to will it into existence, if you will.
Yes, we did. We did.
But yeah.
You want to try to pull someone in?
Justin.
Guys, we have Justin Timberlake. You might know him from NSYNC.
Is it Justin Timberlake or Zac Efron?
It depends on the mood.
Yeah, it depends on the day.
Got like the crowd calling me Zac Efron.
We don't have a chair for you.
You're like, I want to introduce you. You're like, introducing Zac Efron. And everyone's like, wow, Zac Efron's here?
Jake, we have a chair coming. Here, scoot your chair over and take
Okay.
Zac Efron.
Here. Take my
I think
chair.
yesterday our mics picked up Galen.
Yeah, it picked it up really good.
We'll snuggle in real close so people can hear you. But
Snuggle.
our topic today, maybe there's something that you could share. Obviously, being a 7-figure business owner.
And it's time sensitive. We have to wrap up pretty soon.
Yeah, we do. We have just a few minutes left here, but 7-figure problems that maybe you didn't expect to have or you weren't thinking about, things that came up later on in your business that you wish you had maybe spent some time earlier on thinking about. We talked about
7-figure problems,
bookkeeping, relationships with some key individuals, like having the right attorneys in place, what to invest in your business, like investing in your business. You're not, when you're new and you don't have money, you're not really thinking about that. But what's something that you feel like you've encountered?
Yeah, this is interesting because I'm going to talk about this a little bit today.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Here we go.
When I think of like 7-figure problems, there's 2 different categories that can be broken down into. One is like the problems you create because of the scale of being at 7 figures, that like kind of debt that you accumulate along the way.
Absolutely.
Too fast. And then the other one is, okay, now that I'm at 7 figures and I want to keep growing, what problems do I have to solve that like you didn't have to solve when you were getting past 6 figures?
Yeah.
So I think like the debt accumulation one, the biggest thing that comes to mind is just make sure you're tracking the right numbers.
Yeah.
Like all the numbers,
KPIs.
the right numbers. Yeah. Exactly. Because if you got there and you don't know how you got there, and like you don't have the numbers to look back at, like what got us there.
That's a great point.
You're kind of just like a one-hit wonder. Like you don't really know how to keep growing or keep repeating what worked well for you.
You can't scale what's working.
Right.
It's almost like you're just, throwing things against the wall. Maybe a couple times it sticks. You're like, I'm amazing.
Well, here's the scary part
that.
about this topic. What you just said right there is the number of insurance agents and agency owners that I talk to are exactly that.
Yeah.
Track nothing. They literally have tracked nothing.
It hurts my heart. Because like numbers tell you everything.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
like any problem that you want to solve or any place you want to get better, if you have the numbers, it'll
Yeah.
tell you what to focus on. And if you don't have the numbers, then you're like, I want to get better. I'm just going to get better at everything. And then you don't actually really get
Yes.
better. And so
Yeah.
then, like, you may improve
100%.
something, but it's a very small leverage point.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
such a great one. It's so subjective too, because here's the other thing that happens with this. I'm talking to an agency owner. They will just be like, oh, I feel like these leads are better.
Yeah,
I feel like this is a better marketing
It's
strategy.
like where's the data
Yeah.
to show that?
Anytime you use the word feel in business,
Yeah.
like, figure out how to not use the word feel.
Stop feeling.
Yes.
You heard it here first.
You need to be more like Justin, a robot.
All right.
Exactly.
I hate to pull you in and run, but I feel like we should probably close the show out just so
Yeah, this,
the tech
we
team
were
has
trying
some
to
time
have,
to
we were trying
prepare.
to have Justin on as a guest. We'll have to reschedule that, right? We were trying to
Yes,
have him
yes,
on.
we're trying to do a
previous,
full
so-
episode.
Yeah,
Maybe
we'll
over
have
the
a
next
full
couple weeks we
episode.
can make
Yeah.
that happen.
Yeah,
we should.
absolutely.
We'd love to have you on. By the way, did you what did you do last night?
I was on the buses. I was looking for you, but
We after the bar we kind of ducked out.
I was wondering because like everybody got back to like one area and I didn't see you guys. But
We're old,
I was
Justin.
I was a good boy.
We're not-
I didn't get after it too much last night because I got to speak here.
Right.
in 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Well, I haven't had a drop of alcohol for 5 months.
5 months. Yeah, I hadn't
Yeah.
drank since Christmas.
Yeah. So
It affects you a lot.
Yeah,
like, when
for
you
sure.
celebrate.
so like last night we're together.
Yeah.
Have a Long Island iced tea.
Yeah.
I then have some drinks on the bus.
That's Christian's signature drink, mind you.
Then I drink some moonshine
Nice.
from the great Medicare Misty. Branded, by the way, branded moonshine.
Oh, really?
Always be branding with your moonshine. And then I had like half a glass of wine, and I was like, just sick.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm like, what did I do to
You
myself?
mix too much. You mix too much. Okay, let's get into final thoughts though.
Yes.
Let's wrap some things up. We'd love to get Mr. Timberlake's here's final thoughts. Christian, give us final thoughts on today's episode.
I feel like one thing you have to be expecting, I feel like people think that as they grow, from my experience, that their problems will go away. And maybe the problems that they had
Yeah.
when they were trying to reach six figures, maybe they're over six figures, they're trying to grow to seven figures, they feel like their problems are going to go away. But in reality, in my opinion, I think the level of complexity that their problems are becomes greater.
100%.
You know, I think they just have more complicated problems that they have to deal with. So I think you have to just be willing to expect that and understand that it's like a game. It's like a video game of sorts, right? Like it just gets more difficult as you go and more challenging, but that's what
Great
makes
analogy.
it fun.
Yeah.
And it's just new problems you have to deal with, but you might not have to deal with those old problems anymore before you've solved those. But now you have new problems if you want to keep growing and keep getting to the next level. So that would be my final
Great.
thoughts.
That's a great one.
Yeah. Well, I obviously didn't hear the whole podcast, so I'll just kind of respond to you. But I think that's so good. I mean, I think that like if you want to never have problems, there's not a lot of things you can do in life. Like you're always
Yeah.
going to have problems, and so
We are.
you know a lot of people
You're on the
want and hope and pray for no problems, but instead you should just basically pray for like a stronger backbone, more resilience,
100%.
handle bigger problems. Because
Yes.
it's just not going to go away. Like
No.
on Earth,
like a
as
sandwich
personal
place
and
just
business, like,
next
problems
door
are always
here.
gonna be there.
100%.
So just focus on serving and solving bigger problems, and you'll get rewarded better for it. And
I love
figure
that.
out ways to make it so you can enjoy
Let's get
your
lunch
life
today.
overall.
Yeah, there's that. I could try to mention that John F. Kennedy quote right now, but I feel like I would botch it. You know, ask not for
But your
what.
country can do for you. Is that
No. The one where isn't there a JFK quote where he's like, I don't ask to be for my.
Was it declassified?
God, see, I'm gonna have to post it now in the comments once I find it.
I,
He has to be stronger. Ask not for your problems.
Ask not for what your country can
Yeah,
do
see,
for
that's
you.
No, it's the same one. That's not the quote. That's the different quote.
But I think, yeah.
Who said that? Was that JFK?
No, I think that's JFK too. But there's
No,
a
that's,
quote. There's a quote where he's like, ask to be, ask not for. It's like ask not for your problems to go away. Ask to be stronger, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's something along those lines.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great
The key
point.
is resilience. Just
Yeah.
Like as you just do business better, more and longer, you will become more resilient. To what felt like a problem at six figures is nothing to you.
100%.
Multi-six figures.
100%.
You're smarter, you're wiser,
Yeah.
you are better at business. Yeah, I think that's very well said.
Yeah.
My final thoughts, you guys. You know, this was such a great episode, great topic. I think that mentorship and people who've already seen a lot of these problems that you are going to encounter, being able to, it's a shortcut really. If you're able to work with someone, have some type of mentorship, or even if it's just following someone, right? Being in the community and understanding, being able to learn from other people's mistakes, that can really save you a ton of time.
Totally.
I mean, we talked about times we went bust, and there's times where we took left turns that cost us a ton of time and money, where if we had avoided some of those mistakes, we'd probably be even further down the road than we are now.
Yes.
So
But
that's
thank you for taking me back down that down memory lane.
those are my final thoughts for today's episode of 7-Figure Problem.
I love it. Guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, comment #Team Replay on the Facebook streams, enter into Freebie Friday. We'll see you guys on tomorrow's episode back home.
That's right.
See you guys on the next one.
Hey.